Welcome back to the Lanterne Rouge Cycling Podcast for Stage 8 of the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift from Sisteron to Nice. This is typically, this is a Paris-Nice style stage. You'll often see this as the arrival in the penultimate stage in Paris-Nice for the hard sprinters, the ones that can get over a hill. And indeed, that is the profile we have today. Very long stage, 172 kilometers long. And my mythical wall exists. I was really starting to think I'm hallucinating stage profiles. I've read too many of them now in my life, but no, we actually do have a wall. But first they have a horrible highway drag, like 76 k's of false flat uphill, then 70 k's of false flat downhill. Then they have two hills, or two and a half. 1.5k 4% one, that's no bother. Then 2.5k's 4%, short descent, and then the Chemin de l'Arietta, 450 meters, 13%, short wall, straight out of a left-hand corner. That crests 8k's from the finish. We have a very fast descent through the suburbs or north of Nice. And yeah, it was technical, motorbikes everywhere. And remind you, yesterday, before today's stage started, we obviously had Niewiadoma now in the yellow jersey, 15 seconds ahead of Vollering, 39 seconds ahead of Reusser, ELB on 2:59 on fourth, so quite a big gap from third to fourth, but no bonus seconds at any intermediate here, just at the finish. So yeah, I've brought us to the start, Benji. What did you think Canyon SRAM should have wanted from today's stage?
Canyon SRAM should want to just defend their GC position. I think that's the core idea, of course. Whether it's yellow jersey and white jersey, I think both. That can both happen. So the dangers that we see for that is what we discussed yesterday. That FDJ Suez might see this so-called wall that you imagined that actually existed today, that wall, and think, okay, we're going to try and nuke it. Now on paper, Niewiadoma is quite punchy. So I'll be honest, before the stage started, I didn't expect it to actually gap Niewiadoma. We'll get to later whether it works or not, or whether they actually did the strategy or not. On the opposite side, I looked at this stage beforehand. I'm going to confess, I picked Whippers yesterday because I had little confidence in the team actually nuking it. I am very happy to say that Whippers did not win today. I'm not saying that because I dislike Whippers. I'm saying that because we got a way better race for it. That said, Patrick, if you were Canyon SRAM, was there a specific strategy you could have applied today to circumvent a nuking of the final climbs?
Not really. You can try to have a satellite ride. You can try to take the bonies away, but firstly, it's a long stage. Are you going to be able to do that? You can put no free passes. Backstep should be in the break. Make FDJ chase Backstep down.
Yeah, but why would FDJ do that? They don't need to catch Backstep.
So that the bonies are in play for Demi, and so that Cassio doesn't have a defensive satellite rider.
Yeah, but when I look at the way the stage played out with breakaway riders like Accuses and Squibon, and I think a rider from Ma Petite Entreprise who dropped out of the break pretty early on, FDJ didn't care at all, even when the gap went to 4 minutes 30 with 38 kilometers to go in the stage. I thought to myself, okay, is there a chance that this break might make it? Possibly yes. At that point in the race, I think we had Liv Jaco and AJ Insurance spacing for maybe Pater Noster and Kim Corpinar, KLCP, and those were the two teams really picking it up. And I'm more thinking that if I'm hypothetically FDJ Suez and Canyon goes in the breakaway with Accuses and Squibon with Backstep in there, yes, it's shit that the bonus seconds are gone, but it doesn't negate the possibility of actually still nuking the climb and gapping on the road, you know?
Exactly, yeah. You can still try to attack. The wall exists. That's what my takeaway from today was. And so
you get 50 points for free.
Thank you very much. Yes.
A wall correctly.
I read a profile correctly and it existed on the road. I was very, very happy about that. But indeed, I thought, well, Backstep, this is where I would have her in the breakaway, but you want those bonies gone. But that didn't happen. And it's being chased down. We could have a versatile sprint. The thing is, are you really going to have a versatile sprint with GC so close together? Is it really going to happen? We see Squibon crashes in the descent of Colomar. She looked like she almost... Firstly, she got straight away, and she's on the radio, and she's like, I'm good, and gets on the bike very quickly. Then she's not able to put any pressure on her left arm through the hoods. I'm like, well, she's broken her wrist because she put her wrist out when she crashed. And then she was riding normally when she got back to the peloton. So I think she was just like in shock or something.
I think it's also the panic of the woman itself, because to me, when she goes down from the breakaway, that's the important factor here. They still have a gap of maybe a minute 10 or something after this Colomar climb, which is the first final climb. Is that a weird thing to say? The first climb in the last 30 kilometers is I'm trying to portray it. So the climb before we get to the big climb, before we get to the wall. So the first of 3. The fact that she panics so hard while she crashes, she loses time talking to a radio while standing still. I think the go-to should be jumping straight on the bike. I know it's pure adrenaline, it's pure panic, etc. So can't blame the rider for it, but it was funny to see. That said, she gets caught by the peloton. We got a single rider up front, which is still Loes Aardigheest of Little Trek. And at this point, we start to see the road in the peloton being led by multiple teams trying to sprint basically towards the Côte de la Ginestière. We've got a 56-second gap with about 12 kilometers to go. That comes down to maybe 40, 35 seconds already by the time we hit the foot end. Once we go into that climb, Patrick, this is roughly, 10 kilometers to go. It's Koch, Berthet, Vollering, Géry. That is the train with Vollering in 3rd place, Géry in 4th place. Kasia is in the wheel of Géry right now. And you can tell me what happens from here.
Well, FDJ just launch it. They just start pacing really hard on that 4% climb. They put it in a line. Everyone's dropping or they can't move up. Kasia's in position. We see that there's now a short descent. See, X rider try to take her off the wheel of Demi. That was strange. And then we see Géry leading the descent. And Kasia's on the wheel of Demi. There's a left-hand corner going into this kicker. Kasia's on the wheel. Demi's obviously going to try. FDJ have to try. The full bonies are in play. The stage winner's in play. And it's rare that it happens this significantly, but the left-hand turn is completely not filmed at all. As in, the footage doesn't exist. When they cut from the heli shot to the motorbike, which, by the way, was right in front of the peloton, ripping Demi out of the base of that climb. When they cut, there's 10 seconds, maybe Luke calculated, maybe 10 seconds missing. We don't know. We have no footage to that now, unless it's locally recorded on the moto, of what happened in that corner. What we see is very unusual, because I said yesterday, well, this is tough for Demi because Kasia hasn't given her an inch this race so far. She's never dropped the wheel. She's been on the wheel the whole time. She was on the wheel into the corner. Demi's attacking and Kasia's not on the wheel. There's a proper gap. ELB has to come back and she comes over the top of Kasia Niewiadoma, starts bringing her back. Then Niewiadoma does get back to the wheel of Vollering, who looks like she's stalled because she's gone too hard too early. Kasia then starts half-wheeling Vollering, and then Vollering kicks a second time, goes over, and then Niewiadoma full Parcheggio cracks. Done. Can barely get over the top of the climb. ELB screams past it. They're only, I would say, 2 seconds, though, behind Demi over the top. We got 6 to 7 Ks to go. 2 seconds behind. Longoborghini looks like she could be the lifesaver for Niewiadoma here, because she's pulling full gas for the stage win, maybe for her own GC. There's, subsequent to the stage, a lot of drama has come out about what happened in the release the archive files of those missing 10 seconds of film.
Before we jump into the drama completely, just to give out the gaps here, at the top, the gap was maybe like 7 seconds or something from Vollering to ELB and Kasia, who got back onto the wheel of ELB into the downhill. That gap actually stays similar for the initial downhill, but then starts to expand on the flat where you see ELB doing most of the pacing. And I think that's okay, actually. I saw some people asking, what is Longoborghini doing? The reality is she's also trying to just take as much time as possible on a potential Reusser. Just in case Reusser has a bad day tomorrow, then Longoborghini can still come on the podium. I don't mind Longoborghini going all out in that second group. I think it's the right thing to do. It was very clear that Kasia couldn't. Kasia was completely, as we say in French, le cooked at that point in the race. And the gap just kept expanding, and it was over the finish line more than the gap that Demi needed in GC to surpass Niewiadoma. 17 seconds instead of the 15 that they were separated. So the yellow jersey goes to voting, especially with the bonus seconds on top. Niewiadoma comes third, so loses 6 bonus seconds to voting. So now in GC after the stage, the difference between those two riders is 8 seconds. But Patrick, talking about the drama, there was initially an interview by Kasia Niewiadoma after the race about Célia Géry supposedly pushing her into the barrier, I have to assume, in those missing 10 seconds of the broadcast at the foot of that climb. But I'm pretty sure you also just watched a Willer Flitz tweet video.
Yeah, so Niewiadoma said that, and then on live TV, she's gone and just confronted Géry, saying, why did you block me to the barriers? So Niewiadoma's been racing for a long time. We don't have the footage. We can't say whether it happened or not. I 100% think something happened in that corner because it makes no sense that Niewiadoma's on the wheel of Vollering entering the corner, and then she's suddenly on a 10 to 15 meter gap, and ELB's also coming with more momentum. Niewiadoma's clearly been blocked. Now, does that mean Géry did anything wrong? That's another question. That's a different question. I am 100% sure Niewiadoma was blocked and had to stop pedaling and had to restart. 100% sure, because there's just no way that Demi gaps her like that much with an initial kick from everything we've seen in this race. When you look to see the footage starting, Géry looks like she's just finished her pull and she's just coming back in a straight line.
Yeah, it's like, it's impossible to know without the actual footage of those 5 to 10 seconds that are clearly missing on the broadcast what occurred. I believe that Niewiadoma won't be lying about this. There's no reason for her to do so. She's never made shit up like this in the past. So I believe that she felt like she was blocked in that situation, presumably by Célia Géry. Does that mean that Géry did it either on purpose or whether she was forced to move out? Nobody knows. So it's very difficult to conclude something out of it. That said, Patrick, I have to say, the inner drama frog in me is frothing at the mouth right now. I love these kind of small things. I hope we do have a bit of a clear up in the coming 24 hours, because I do want some clarity on the situation in the coming day. But I saw a funny tweet on Twitter saying by renowned cycling follower saying a fake quote by Célia Géry, a fake quote to be clear, it's not real. I saw something yellow in the barriers. referencing the Weebers voting stuff from 2024.
Yeah, if you look up on maybe on LinkedIn Art of War, thread that Demi saved, that she learned this trick today. But maybe the thing is, like, Géry's like a neo pro. She's like a wily old operator. If she did this, and this is the thing with sprints we've been talking about, not for changing yellow jerseys, but in sprints where it was like, well, if the lead out man or woman does something wrong and they get penalized, so what? I think there is a chance to play devil's advocate for FDJ United Suez, because we haven't heard anything from Géry and we haven't heard anything from Vollering. There's a chance Kasia tried to go up the inside of Géry as Géry was finishing her pull, and that's a big mistake. It's a left-hand corner. If she's tried to put her front wheel barrier side of Géry, that is a big mistake, because there was space left to open left. Unless what I think has happened is Demi squeezed through the right barrier on a fast line. Géry's let her through and then closed the door to that barrier as Kasia's tried to follow the wheel. That's what I think has happened. I think Géry's reaction at the finish confirms to me it happened, because if Kasia came up, if someone came up to me, if I was Géry and Kasia came up to me like that, I'd be like, fuck off. I didn't do anything to you. If nothing happened, you tell them to fuck off, right?
Well,
you don't give them.
Doesn't she just walk away?
They walked away and then laughed at her. Or there was laughing in the background.
I haven't heard the audio of the last part. I just see the visual of her walking away. I think we're entering speculation mode here.
Yeah, but that's the point. This is why release the footage.
Yes, release the files.
Please, and we need the uninterrupted front on motor shot. What would it change? Nothing. It wouldn't change anything. The time's gone. The Tour de France isn't over though.
the reason the Tour de France isn't over, though, shout out to Elisa Longo-Borghini.
Yeah.
She's like woman of the people today. She kept the race together, otherwise the gap would be more than half a minute here.
Niewiadoma was cooked. Niewiadoma would have been caught by the other group on 40 seconds. Like, she was so fried. And yeah, she couldn't even give ELB a relay. And yeah, Vollering wins the stage ahead of ELB and Niewiadoma on 17 seconds. Kim Lecourt-Pinard, I think I picked for today. FDJ, the GC situation made it too hard. She leads the group at 40 seconds. And that's pretty much everything for the GC riders. GC changes. Oh, no, that's not true. Holmgren got dropped properly. Holmgren finishes on 150. So she drops a spot from 9th to 10th. Kim Lecourt-Pinard is now 9th. And now Demi is indeed 8 seconds ahead of Niewiadoma. The difference, the double problem for Cassia here is twofold. She gets dropped by Demi, loses the time. She needed Reusser with her. Firstly, to limit the losses. And secondly, now Demi's got 112 on Reusser on GC. She can just hyper-focus Cassia tomorrow. She doesn't have to worry, unless Reusser should just do a Hail Mary from far, right? Like, Reusser has nothing to lose anymore. Her third position, she has 2 minutes.
Yeah, she has nothing to lose, but still, I think Movistar will be really happy to keep that third spot, in the sense that she can risk something, but I also wouldn't go on the third last climb.
Reusser can win this race.
Okay.
She can win this race. Like, let's preview tomorrow's stage, but that's the GC situation. We've now had the jersey change from 3 different riders, all now with gaps getting smaller and smaller. Crazy. Between the 3 podium riders, the gaps have changed. I will wait to hear what happened with Niewiadoma. Maybe Niewiadoma just wanted to blame someone else. Maybe she did get unfairly pushed the barriers. We'll wait to find out more. Tomorrow's stage, Nice to Nice, 100 kilometers. We have a circuit of 4 times Col d'Ez. The last time is 6K, 7.5%, and the first 3.5Ks are 8%. At the top, it's 16Ks to the finish. That's the problem for Niewiadoma. How does she win? Because it starts uphill. It starts uphill, and it's like 8K, 6%.
Ooh.
Firstly, this is what Canyon need. They need as hard a race as possible, and they need Jerry and the FDJ riders dropped. So Niedermeyer should basically start drilling from the opening climb. Start drilling right there.
Yeah, but she's got a white jersey too. I think if you're Canyon, you want. I would. I'm sorry. If you're Canyon, you want to keep that white jersey too.
You're 8 seconds behind for yellow. No one cares. They changed.
The team will care. I can assure you, the team will care.
They changed the age of this competition like the day of the race started. Yellow jersey lives forever.
If the white jersey has to be given up to win the race, then they'll do it. But to do it on the first climb of the day is never gonna happen.
But who's she? What's her gap now?
8 seconds. You mean Niewiadoma?
Oh yeah, it's pretty tight. It's 111 to Blasi.
I no way it's happening on the first climb. Niedermeyer pacing. I do think they'll use her at some point in the race, and I think that's right.
Have they got anyone
Paladin?
else here?
Paladin, Skalnek, Soika, Bakstedt.
Okay,
Klöser.
I'll allow Niedermeyer to not pace the first climb. Benji's convinced me, but the rest of the team have to do their 20-minute all-time records on the first climb. Baxter has to do a 20-minute all-time that first climb and just nuke it. You need a bit of chaos, and then I would.
The more chaos, the better for Reusser.
Exactly, and also, if I'm Niewiadoma, if her version of events is what happened today, I'm going spite mode tomorrow.
You're pushing everybody in the barrier, Patrick.
No, I'm going to blow up the race. I'm going to drop all of Demi's domestiques, and then I'm going to say, Marlon, I will tell her, I'll call her tonight. Marlon, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to blow up the race, and then please attack in the valley, and then I'm going to sit on Demi, and I'm not going to give her a pull. You can take my second spot. I don't care. That's what I would do. It's also, that's how Kasia wins the race.
I actually don't mind that strategy, because Kasia can win the race by using voting to clean up all the messes.
Yeah.
And by using FDJ Suez by cleaning up all the messes. Whether Canyon will have to give an assist for a mess to occur in the first place, I'm not sure, because I think a lot of teams will try some shit tomorrow. And I'm sorry, but UAE has 3 riders in the top 10. This is the stage.
Yeah, Blasi let her off the hook.
Vlodarczyk, I don't care who it is. That's
Yeah.
why there's 3 co-leaders in our head from the get-go.
Exactly. They got to let Blasi. I mean, ELB, she's got to let the others, like Royce has to crack herself. For ELB to podium is going to be really tough. But maybe she goes early, and then Royce is like, oh, if I chase you, then I have no chance to actually play for my own GC victory. But yeah, Blasi's got to try. Yeah, they got to let her try to win the white jersey as well. So we could have a lot of races within the race tomorrow. But indeed, I think for Vollering, she doesn't have to do anything. She just needs to get to that final climb. If she gets to that final climb with equal effort of Niewiadoma, Royce, then she wins GC, because even if Kasia puts 10 seconds into her, even if Kasia honestly puts 20 seconds into her, Demi's going to chase her down over 16 Ks. Demi has to be fried.
I agree.
Kasia's not keeping her behind.
It's also not like a super fast ascent either, eh? So it's like a rolling descent definitely benefits Vollering over Niewiadoma, even though Niewiadoma is super technically good as a descender. That's the first point, but it's not that kind of descent. So that's why the absolute watts of a Vollering definitely matter over the top of the Col d'Aise. I think there's so much possible on a parkour like tomorrow. I'd be very curious to see what the other teams are going to try and prevail in the maybe breakaway opportunities, etc. Whether that will create a situation if where an FDJ Suez has to decide whether they keep controlling in the peloton or put a rider in the breakaway as potential satellite rider. Whether we see the same happening from other teams. I think that's risky, any such move, because then if UAE has a brain, there's always a co-leader of UAE in every big move. Is how I see the situation, because that's how UAE can win this race. I think UAE is not completely impossible for winning this race if they jump into moves like that. I think the odds are very tiny, to be clear.
But if you're chasing alone on this circuit, like you raise a good point, Benji. Like ELB's gone up the road solo, and Demi has no teammates, and it's 50 Ks from the finish.
So roughly halfway the stage, basically.
Yeah.
2 Col d'Aise left.
Yeah.
Because if we look at the team of FDJ Suez, Koch's been great the last couple of days. Jerry's been amazing too. But it has been a bit lackluster the last couple of days. There's no like Lauren Dixon type Giro level rider in this race, you know? So not having a rider of that stature within the team does change your abilities to control situations on a chaotic medium mountain stage like this one. I've got a feeling Vollering might be good enough to keep it, to be honest, at the moment. But it's weird because like yesterday, Niewiadoma looked top of the world, best climb performance in women's cycling recorded history. Today she cracks on a short climb, which you wouldn't have given Niewiadoma before the race began, because those are the kind of performances where you'd expect her to be able to follow. I really don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and I think that's the beauty of a stage like that. How many Grand Tours can we write on a piece of paper here, Patrick, where before the final, let's say, GC stage, let's cut out procession stages, there's a gap of 8 seconds between the top 2 riders, and arguably a chance for other riders still to win the race? If tactics mess up or tactic play out, I'm sorry, but we've got such a crazy good setup for this final stage. I can't wait to see what happens. FDJ Suez as a team is vulnerable. Vollering looked unbeatable today, beatable yesterday. And that shake-up between the 2 days also makes it that Niewiadoma looked unbeatable yesterday, very beatable today. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow for sure. I agree that Reusser, I'd like to see her make moves in rolling descents or flat parts. And for her attack to work, it has to be a reduced group to the point that there's limited to no cooperation out there. And if then there's a group of, let's say, Voting, Niewiadoma, Longoborghini, Niedermayer, Kerbaol, and Royce who attacks for that, don't you dare put Niedermayer at the front of that group, Canyon, because then you're helping Voting, who should be...
That's why they got to go spite mode.
I don't even think that's spite mode. I think that's...
No, it's like I did it slightly tongue-in-cheek, but what I outlined is also the part... For Cassia to win, she needs Demi to have, like, pulled for a long time and then go full gas Simon Yates mode, crack her on Katrashima, and drop a proper dropper. And for that to happen, Demi has to work beforehand. My pick for the stage win is Marlon Reusser.
Okay.
I think, whilst I've outlined what I'd like to happen, I hope they blow the race up on the first climb, and then imagine ELB, like you said, imagine ELB and Reusser attacking. That's a big problem for whoever's behind. If those two are together.
The gap from Voting to Niedermayer is too big to use Niedermayer as the bait, is how I perceive it.
No. Canyon just have to
Yeah.
drop the FDJ domestiques, and then hope that UAE and Reusser try something.
I was just trying to think of, is there a strategy possible by sending Niedermayer up the road, but the gap is too big. It's 4 minutes.
4 mins.
So with 4 minutes, FDJ won't be panicking. That's the reality. And the people will then come back to the group and will start riding for Voting in the first place, and then Niedermayer won't be because I was thinking, is there a chance for like a Niedermayer to win the stage, a Kerbaol to win the stage? Niedermayer, I don't see it, because the attack strategy doesn't work for Niedermayer, so it always has to be from the peloton for Niewiadoma. I think there's a chance for UAE. Go ahead,
like
sorry.
ELB's coming into the race like in better and better shape right now.
Yes, I think that counts for honestly every single UAE rider. Maybe Vlodarczyk stagnated, but that's mostly because she crashed on stage 1. So I don't know how representative every day has been when it comes to her level, but also Blasi was strong yesterday. I'd like to see as much little trek in the break as possible, whether it's Fisher Black or Holmgren, because Holmgren is in 10th place, but 8th place is better.
My pick's Marlon Reusser. I think actually what we have is the three of them going over the top. They all follow Cassia. Maybe Reusser gets dropped. Demi doesn't pull with Cassia. She doesn't have to. And then Reusser comes back and she attacks late, and Demi just like paces and keeps her at like 15, 20 seconds. And Reusser wins the stage.
Ooh.
And there's no changes in the top 3.
I think Voting wins the stage. That's my pick for the final day.
She drops everybody.
I think there's a real possibility that happens. There's also a possibility where that doesn't happen and she outsprints 3 riders, hypothetically. Because she's been beaten by Reusser before, once or twice.
With her.
Yeah, but if they don't relay with her, then good luck dropping her in the downhill after the top of Reusser can, like you say.
And like maybe there's an ELB there who just pulls for her GC position.
Yes, actually, well, for ELB to pull for GC position, there has to be a Marlon Reusser dropped or something.
Yeah.
Which
great
gap is now a minute, 58?
It's nearly 2 minutes.
I'm at 57. So ELB's chance for a podium is attacking early.
Yeah. You got to light it up early.
The problem is, if ELB is up the road and you're Niewiadoma, you're trying to get Voting to pace, but who's going to be pacing instead? Reusser for her podium spot.
No, Reusser's got to go with ELB. Reusser has to go with her. You always have to go. If you're the next rider and the rider behind you in GC attacks, it's you who has to go. Or you still do nothing.
I agree.
Or you say, I'm happy for Elisa to win the race. And look at Demi. But I think if Demi can just wait a minute for Jerry to come back. It's not like Jerry is going to be on 4 minutes. So, anyway, it's going to be a great stage. I pick Reusser. Benji picks Vollering. I mean, she won today in pretty impressive fashion. And it's been a fantastic race so far. Can Demi win green?
I think it's mathematically possible. I think the gap is like 32 32 points right now. I think tomorrow's finish gives 30 points.
No, that's a lot.
I'm not sure about that.
But the IS, yeah, there's the IS, which Vibes might
But
not
the
make.
IS after the first climb. So Weebus might not make it, but
Demi might not take it.
There will be someone ahead at that point, is my opinion,
Yeah.
right? Someone
I
will have tried to go in the break in the first like 8K out of neutral, you know?
I think Vibes has got it unless Demi takes some IS points. Puck's got QOM sewn up. White jersey 111 between Blassie and Niedermeyer. Team's classification UA looking good there. So yeah, Tour de France Femmes. Block out. Tell your family. Tell your husband. Tell your wife. Tell your kids. Sunday afternoon. I don't want to see you. I'm watching this race.
No drama update yet? Come on.
I know. I've been refreshing Twitter to see like more beef. This is good. I mean, imagine the Tour de France. I know we don't compare, and it's not normally how we do it, but I would kill for the Tour de France men to have a bit of this. Like I'm full Rudolph mode. I'm like, when I see guys high-fiving after intermediate sprints, it makes me sick. So
I will quote Ronnie Lauke from Canyon SRAM, Patrick.
Okay. I like Ronnie, nice guy.
Situation, wo die generische Mannschaft eine Helferin Cassia direkt gesucht hat. Sie versucht hat, aus dem Rennen zu nehmen, war Lieder zu erwarten. My German's not great.
Luke, what does that mean? Luke speaks German.
I translate this as a rival team's helper tried to take Kasia out of the race. Take my translation with a grain of salt.
I know Mannschaft means team. That's about it.
I'll text it to Luke and he can confirm or not while we do.
Alrighty. I'll do Tour of Poland in the interim. We had the Bukowina Resort stage. It was 125 Ks, nearly 3,000 meters of climbing, steep hills all day. Bart Lemon started the day in the GC lead. This is the stage won by Vingegaard in the past. And Remco with the solo. It's a proper hard stage. And Visma controlled, kept the break suspiciously tight, actually. And then on the second last Bukowina climb, which is, 5 minutes, Santi attacked. Kelderman couldn't get to him. Barret bridged. Barret worked with Santi and then stopped working and then attacked him on the final climb with a bit of chaos behind. No one really taking control. We got Fischer Black, Romeo, Bettiol, the TT guys for tomorrow's TT, wanting the gap as small as possible. Barret drops Santi, goes clear, just holds off the peloton, which didn't cooperate very well at all with Lemon and Kelderman and Grat blocking it up. Barret takes his first pro victory. And Scaroni second again, taking 6 bonies as well. Brenner third. He's had a fantastic week. He's been fourth, second, and third on all of the key stages. And GC-wise, Scaroni takes the GC lead. He's 3 seconds ahead of Barret, 5 seconds ahead of Lemon. Brenner on 11 seconds. Kristen 23 seconds. Fischer Black 28. Lapera 28. Crone 32. Sobrero 32. Romeo and Bettiol 33. Vlasov and Kelderman 38 seconds. I think for GC, we've got a TT tomorrow. It is 12.5 Ks. My pick for GC is Finn Fischer Black.
Ooh, the gap right now is 28 seconds, like you said. Bartolomei is 5 seconds behind Scaroni. That's 23 seconds to Fischer Black on a 12.5K time trial. Maybe I'm inventing this, but I feel like back in the day, Brenner could time trial, but I haven't seen that anytime recently, so I'm not counting that at all.
He's in good shape.
Romeo 33 seconds back. Ooh, I would love a Romeo
So will
victory.
Romeo beat Fischer Black by 5 seconds or more? This TT is going to be so good. So many different riders. If they're on a good day, if Lemon has a fantastic TT, he can hold it off. If Brenner does, he can win. Young Kristen, even. It's not like he has a bad TT.
I am at the moment doing a head-to-head. This is the first time I've ever used this PCS feature between Romeo and Fischer Black in time trials. And I'm looking... Criterium de Dauphiné 2025. Romeo beat Finn Fischer Black by 12 seconds on a parcours of 17 kilometers. This is gonna be... I'm putting my money on... Well, I don't bet, but I'm going for Romeo for the sakes of this dynamic.
I think I'm going Romeo GC2. I think Romeo's going to do. Oh, I don't know, but it's going to be again. That TT is going to be fantastic to watch.
Yeah, but Lemon is not a bad time trialist, Patrick.
And it's 30 seconds. He lost 5 today on like they brought back gaps, and he was on a little gap. Scaroni can't TT for anything, right? He's going to be. Scaroni's done for.
Yeah, I don't count Scaroni. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Are you discounting Kristen? What's his TT ability?
Kristen, I'm not discounting Kristen. Never discount him.
He had a good Tirreno TT, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Never discount him.
Well, then why are we talking about anyone else than the misunderstood genius, Patrick?
Yeah, I got to switch to him. I got to continue. Yep, young Kristen wins GC tomorrow. Let's go. I think you might. Elsewhere in Burgos.
Why are we talking about him? He's literally a time trialist.
Time trial's strong.
He nearly won a Giro time trial like 17 years ago, Patrick.
Yeah. No, I've mentioned all of the names. It could be anybody. It could literally be 8 different guys win GC tomorrow, which again is quite rare. In Burgos, we had Pellizzari winning the stage. It was a great battle on Laguna Stenaya, the famous steep mountaintop finish. In Burgos, he beat Only in goal by 3 seconds. Ciccone on 5 seconds, Mas 13, Rondell 20, Nordhagen 29, Torres 33. That's the white jersey battle probably in the... Oh no, Only's probably still white jersey eligible. I don't know how it works. Torres 33 seconds, Fortunato 40 seconds, Bellocchi 42 seconds. But for Only, unfortunately, the bonies he lost in the sprint against Pellizzari and Ciccone on stage 3 have cost him the GC. Gold wins GC by 5 seconds ahead of Only. Ciccone third, 12 seconds. Pellizzari moves into 4th. So, yeah, Gold's looking good. Pellizzari's looking good for the Vuelta. I think, yeah, all these guys looking good for the Vuelta.
I enjoyed watching Burgos this week. It's good to see Only back at the level after his struggles from this pre-Tour de France crash. I think Ineos will need a good goal. Need a good Only at the Vuelta to try and resurrect themselves a bit after that race not necessarily being great for them, the Tour de France. Pellizzari good on level, yeah. The thing with Ciccone is always like, we're like, hyping him up on a race like this, and then at a Grand Tour, we then hype him up for GC the first couple of days.
No, we go the opposite way. No, we don't.
Or we go the opposite way. I think last year, we went the other way for like a day. We were like, his level is so good that maybe he should go for GC for once.
Well, it was Vuelta last year. We were like, yeah, but he's the last guy following Jonas. So keep it going.
I
feel bad for Ciccone. I feel bad for him. He's been so close to victories this year, and he's just either luck or just the race scenario has not worked out for him.
The Vuelta's pretty close already, right?
Nah, 2 weeks.
I'm sorry, but that is pretty close. It's because the Tour de France Femmes is so quote-unquote late compared to usual that I'm like, what? We're getting ramped up already in Burgos towards the Vuelta. The Benelux Tour is almost coming, the 5th Grand Tour, Patrick. I've got one more small update. Luke has translated the German. The German has been translated, and the sentence says there was apparently a situation where the opposing team had one of their domestiques specifically target Kasia and try to take her out of the race. Unfortunately, this was to be expected, but we'll deal with it and try to hit back. That is a serious accusation. I'm sorry, and to say that without clear proof, visual proof, is a crazy accusation. You have to follow that up with something. I know Kasia must have said it, and I support that he believes his rider, but that is a serious accusation.
As we said, we don't speculate on this podcast. We only speak in facts, and it could be either way. It could be that Kasia made the mistake of putting her right wheel on the wrong side of Jerry, and Jerry slides back and does nothing wrong. It could also be the case that Jerry shut the door hard to Demi's wheel when she attacked and nearly put Kasia into the barriers. We don't know. Release the footage, and I'll
release
be interested to see what
the Jerry cut.
But if FDJ say nothing, then it happened, right? If you're FDJ seeing these comments, if it didn't happen, you have to come out and say this didn't happen.
Yeah, of course.
But if they don't say anything,
The reason that I don't know how they're going to react to this is because I don't know what actually happened.
but that's what I mean. Their reaction will be telling.
Yeah, Patrick, you just said that our podcast would never dare to speculate. This is a serious podcast. But if we would speculate,
No. I'm waiting for their right of reply. If they have a right of reply to what Ronnie Laukus said.
I think that we're waiting, and I think someone in the chat just pointed it out. I'm waiting on the TMZ footage from someone on the side of the road. Someone has to have his camera out in that corner. There's no way there's no one there with a camera.
Exactly. I'll be refreshing LinkedIn tonight to see what
LinkedIn.
What
You expect, maybe Demi responds in an AI generated LinkedIn post like our usual ones.
Could be. Anyway, it's gonna be a great stage tomorrow. We've got a bit of added drama, a bit of beef. I think it's so good for the race. It's not nice, of course, but for the neutrals, it's been a crazy good race so far, and let's hope we have a good one tomorrow. All right, thanks for listening as always. For the recap then. Ciao.